This video will show you how to develop a morphological search, that is, searching for a very specific Hebrew word and form, but when you do not have a source right within the Hebrew text to copy and initiate the search. We'll do this for the verb kum. In fact, we'll be mirroring the same search that we saw in a separate video for this imperative, second masculine singular imperative of kum. But this time, instead of left-clicking and using this particular command that shows up on the pop-up, we'll be doing more of a manual type search, which will then show you how you can initiate searches even if you don't have the particular form before you in the Hebrew text. We'll go to the upper left and click on the magnifying glass. And now we find open before us a search query. If it does not show these Hebrew or Greek options before you, you want to be sure to click on the MORPH, the morphological portion. Let's see what else it might look like. If it turned out basic, it might look like this. Bible might look like this. We're interested in morphological. What else do we need to determine? All morphological text, that's good. Entire Bible, that's fine. Lexham Hebrew Bible, that's a good choice. And with the Logos Hebrew Morphology, that's appropriate because it's paired with, integrated with the Lexham Hebrew Bible. All right, now we want to instruct it to look for the Shoresh Kum and for this particular imperative form. Notice the tips that you find displayed before you. We're going to need to begin by typing a Hebrew word. The easiest way to do that, if you're not in Hebrew font already, is to type lowercase h and then colon. Let's see what happens. Lowercase h and now colon. This is telling the computer that whatever shows up next is to recognize as if it were Hebrew. We do not need to type in Hebrew. We can type in English, but we'll be typing the transliteration. So for kum, let's use Q-U-M. And now it automatically searches its database and proposes that we may be looking for this particular Shoresh. Yes, that's right. So now we will come to the proposed meaning and click on that, and notice what happens. The H colon goes away. Instead, it begins with its more typical foreign language search query, either Hebrew or you'd use the same for Greek, lemma, colon, and then the Hebrew word. What it's waiting for now is the @ sign. So now type the @ sign. As soon as you do that, it will drop down with these parts of speech. So here's our multiple choice. Do we want it to consider kum as an article? That won't make sense. As a conjunction? No. Adverb? No. No, this is a verb. So we'll slide down to verb and click on it. Notice that the capital V has now been added to our search string, as well as displaying this fairly complex array of choices. The part of speech we've already solved as a verb, but now it's asking us what stem do we wish to use. Stem is the binyan. We're looking for kum in the call binyan, not he, feel, pl, or something else. So we will choose the call binyan. Incidentally, you'll find more binyanim here than you perhaps knew existed. Please be aware these are not only Hebrew, but this array will also operate for Aramaic if you're working in part of Daniel or Ezra. But that's another study. Here we have the call, so we will click on call, and notice what happens in the query. It adds a lowercase a. This is the Logos logic for their code for a call binyan. TAM is their abbreviation for the queries of tense and aspect and mood. You'll make only one selection from these. It's not as though you'll make 3 selections. We're interested in an imperative. So we'll say, please confine your search to the verb in the call stem in the imperative mood. And that has added a capital M. That's the Logos code to confine its search for an imperative. And now it's asking us for more information. Would we like to confine it to a particular person? Yes, we want it to be second person. And now it's added the numeral 2. Do we want it to include both feminine and masculine? Well, we're wanting to look for cum, this particular narrow form, masculine. Incidentally, if we wanted it to embrace both masculine and feminine forms, we would simply omit. We wouldn't click either of these. We would just go on to the number column. But let's go ahead and narrow it down to masculine forms. All right, we want it masculine plural or masculine singular. Dual won't really affect us. We're looking for masculine singular. State and the ictal volatives and verb ending, we can ignore these for the particular form we're interested in here. That is, we simply won't click on any of them. Then we'll want to come down to the lower right where you find this small arrow and click on that. That says move to the next stage. Since there were no more choices to be made, it automatically activated the search. And here's what it has returned. It has said there are 60 times that this particular imperative occurs across the Hebrew Bible. And now we can either turn to these, just clicking on them, and they will then appear in the panel on the left. We could simply scan them if perhaps we are looking for particular associated words, what words next in context, what follow the imperative. Maybe we're wanting to find cum construed with a name or a place or some other, or a participle or a preposition. We could scan this and begin to derive more information from this search. Not all of the hits appear on this particular panel. You can see that there are quite a few more, and they come into view as we scroll down, ending with 2 Chronicles.